The last book that I had on here is from Daniel Warren Johnson, Transformers. That book is so damn badass and fun. Like, I grew up with Transformers and G.I. Joe and stuff, but I wasn't a super fan like Kyle is. Like it was casual viewing. I didn't go see the movies and stuff. I'm not that diehard. I've read some stuff, but this Transformers book is amazing because it's blood guts. Like, they kill humans and don't care. And it is amazing to see the violence that's in this book, because his art is fantastic and perfect for this. I don't know.
I want to clarify: the Decepticons kill humans and don't
The
care.
Decepticons, yeah, of course, the bad guys, yeah. But there's even a scene where Optimus Prime, like, there's a two-page spread where he just is still in truck form and just hits one of the Decepticons full on, and it's like, man, this guy should be writing the movies because the action sequences are amazing. But this is definitely a more adult one. There's a lot of death, but then that's why I added this other book onto it, because I just got to read it 2 weeks ago, from Joshua Williamson and Tom Riley, the Duke standalone story, that you find out that Duke was the pilot. There are two pilots that engage the Transformers, and one of them is killed, and he's killed by a Decepticon just with a slap. Like, his body is just obliterated between those two hands, and Duke survives this encounter. And his entire story in just that first issue is amazing, because it's like, you think of Duke as the soldier, doing everything for the American military, but this is not that. He's talking about a conspiracy and cover up of these robots that exist, that he's seen, that no one will admit exist. So he kind of leaves the military, and his story is amazing. I love what Joshua Williamson has done in Duke. I've only read the first issue, but I think Hasbro has some great titles they're doing good things with. And Transformers is one of my favorite books of last year.
Yeah, so this Transformers is also on my list. I think this is the only book that's on my, like, gonna combine on the list for two people on the show. And Jeff, whenever I get to you, you can let us know if this was on your short list. But I love it. I'm a big fan of Daniel Warren Johnson. I mean, for a lot of people, Do a Powerbomb is on their list this year because that's when the trade came out, right? I think it was on my list for sure last year. And I believe on yours too as well, Clay, if I'm not misremembering. But he's a fantastic creator. I've never been like a big Transformers person either, although this year, for I Read Comics, I did watch all the Michael Bay movies. And it was an experience. It did mess up my letterbox, because like now Michael Bay is like my most seen director of the year. But yeah, I love it. I love the art. I love the story. So Starscream is just he's just such a fun villain, as the leader of the Decepticons currently. Like, but you can tell he's so insecure because anytime anybody brings up Megatron for any reason, you're like, "Why did you say that?" I almost can hear him say, "Why did you say that name?"
Yeah.
And then Clay, if you go back to the first Transformer issue, you do see when the pilot's jumping out, you can read Duke on his shirt.
Yeah, but then they tied into that story, and that's what was really cool. I mean, the fact that Duke talks about the Transformers and talks about the death of his friend. He goes, "This robot killed my friend," and then he seemed to be enjoying the killing. That was the other part that was in it. I was like, oh, what a cool line that he was able to witness a Decepticon smiling as he just killed a human in his hands.
Yeah, and I love that Tom Riley, when he did that page of him remembering, like, it was focused on Duke because Starscream was like kind of in the shade. Like, it was just a really interesting way to say, like, if you want to see the Transformers version of this, go read the Transformers book. You can read that, that side of the story. If you want to follow up with Duke, follow up here. And of course, they're setting up a bigger world. Now, I don't know all the characters from G.I. Joe because I've only seen the later movies, and those are not very good.
They're the worst.
Yeah. But yeah, I love Transformers. So, but Jeff, have you read Transformers or Duke?
Oh yeah, I've read them both. I think they're both great. I think that we need to set a Patreon goal for Danny to watch both the 1986 and 7 animated Transformers and GI Joe cartoons,
Oh my
because
god.
that'll fill you in right away.
Ah,
You know,
oh, maybe we can do a
uh,
member only stream or something. Yeah,
All right.
yeah, they're both great. The Transformers is amazing. It does give me. I watched the cartoon growing up in the 80s. I've seen all the movies. Um, I'm not like a super duper fan. Like I didn't anything past the Generation One. I didn't really get into Beast Wars or anything like that. Uh, but this does make me feel like a little kid again, like watching those early episodes. Even though this is more adult, it's not like super duper dark. It's not like you know, you know, the Snyderverse dark or anything like that. It's even though there is murder and killing, it's still kind of fun, you know.
I'm indoors. I'm indoors today, so here it is. Just wait
uh,
till you hear my recommendation for today.
I'm really and I enjoy and it's fun to watch them build these two GI Joe and Transformer universes together because they've always been linked because they're both Hasbro properties and whatnot.
Yeah,
But it's fun to see them build the universe together from the get go because I don't think that's ever happened before,
yeah,
really.
and I very much look forward to the Cobra Commander miniseries that they're also going to. Joshua Williams
Yeah,
also going to be writing that.
Oh yeah, that was the backup story in that Duke first issue,
Yeah, I
and
got a
it was
little
like,
preview of that.
whoa.
Hopefully, I
yeah.
think Transformers 4 comes out next week, and I think Cobra Commander should be out sometime later in January, maybe early February. Stay tuned. We'll definitely, as long as Image has been really good to us with like letting us read all that stuff. So we'll definitely keep talking about it because it's really exciting stuff. So
It's
Yeah,
such a fun
definitely.
book.
yeah.